Hey guys, Critical Schmuck here with my first ever review on Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. It's the first game I've actually played on my new channel, and one thing I'll be doing is every video game I play, whether it be stream or whatever I decide to do, if I actually want to make episodic, like, Let's Plays of it. Kind of depends if it's new or not, or if I'm something I'm really into, I'm going to make a review of it. Now, this game, honestly, I thought it was really good. It had a lot of pros for me, but it also had a lot of cons. But yeah, why don't we get right on into it? If you guys go on to enjoy the video, please leave a comment, like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let's get into it. Alright, so where do I even start? I mean, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, like, it's a game I really enjoyed, like I said, like, it had a lot of pros to me, but it also had a lot of cons, so we're gonna start with the pros. The game is gorgeous. The game is absolutely gorgeous. Like, I couldn't really appreciate it. I got a new PC through my playthrough, and I ended up seeing what it looked like on the 2080, and it's fucking beautiful. It looked beautiful on the 1070. You know what I mean? So I don't think the 2080 really buffed it too much, but it was gorgeous. Like, for a Dragon Ball game, definitely the most beautiful now. It was obviously made by Bandai Namco and all that stuff, but it was also created by CyberConnect 2, which may sound familiar because that's the company that created the Storm games. Now, the Storm games are amazing. Like, in my opinion, they're a 10 out of 10. I'm a total weeb, and one of my first, like, animes that I really fell in love with was Naruto. And the Storm games showed, honestly, like, a perfect retelling of Naruto. This doesn't really do that. I mean, it's really good at first. Like, it starts off, obviously, you're in the... Actually, no, it doesn't. It starts off before Z, because it starts off when you're with Gohan. I almost called him Goten. When you're with Gohan, and you're just being a dad, you're just taking him around hunting. I don't remember if that was, like, actually in the anime. But I know you were, like, the game starts off, you're potentially just showing him how to fish, and just hanging out with your kid, it's nice, and then you find out you have to go and meet Master Roshi, so you head over there, just like in the anime, and Raditz appears, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. At this point the game is pretty good. It keeps the Raditz fight pretty good. They actually had the ball. Something I really liked is they had the audacity, the bravery to have the special beam cannon actually pierce Goku, which is something that hasn't really been done in years. So, and like they showed the hole, which is something I don't think has been done since Budokai. So, I mean, game gets points for me right there. Then, you get to, like, the first thing in this game that made me really, like, gush, like, obviously, the fight with Goku and Vegeta, like, it was animated perfectly. The Saiyans were handled, tactfully and perfectly, and it was accurate. You go through Frieza, everything's accurate. The Ginyu Force. Recoome got... Oh my god, the amount of respect that was paid to the Ginyu Force, well, to Recoome. Not so much to Jason Birder, to Recoome. Was crazy. They even continued on with things like, Captain Ginyu, and they actually showed him inflict the injury on himself. And, the game was just... It seemed to be telling everything so well, but then... Yeah, no, we'll get to that. But... So... The first thing that really had me gushing, though, had to be the Super Saiyan transformation. That thing was... The auras on it were beautiful. The models were amazing. Just, the animations were so fluid and clean. It was awesome. It was beautiful. And then we hit the Android arc. The fucking Android arc. It's like, come on, you guys made Storm 4, Storm 3, and Storm 2, which is like a perfect retelling of Shippuden. We're still going through the pros. And honestly, the Cell arc had some really great stuff. I mean, we're gonna get into the cons here now. Really, no fucking Hellzone grenade. Excuse my language, but no Hellzone grenade. Like, I know for me and a lot of other people, Piccolo is pretty much considered one of the most deep and like interesting characters in all of Dragon Ball, and his fight with 17 is one of the best fights in Z. And you didn't pay it any respect at all. Meanwhile, Ricum's Ultra Fighting Bomber is like the coolest looking thing I've ever seen in a video game. Like with the animations and in an anime video game anyway. Like, oh my god. Just, and then when Cell shows up, does the thing, absorbs 17 and all that, you have Tien show up. Now obviously I knew I wasn't gonna play as him. But the game could have, like, the developers could have put in a cinematic of him tri-beaming the shit out of Cell. Like, pay these characters freaking respect, please. Please pay them respect from now on. Like, if you make a sequel, pay these characters respect. The amount of, like, filler stuff I had to go through in this game, that definitely takes points off, too, because there was a point during the Cell Saga, and definitely after the Cell Saga between Cell and Boo, where it was maybe 5-6 hours of just side missions. And not even fun side missions. Like, I was bored. It was just, go here, get this. Go here, get this. Oh, go collect 10 of these. Go do this. Repair this. Help this. It's like, ugh. Oh, my God. No, that just... No. No. Don't... CyberConnect, what the hell? And then we get to Boo. I think Boo was handled decently well. I don't think... I'm trying to remember if they cut out anything really severe in Boo that pissed me off. I know there was a couple things towards the end that I thought was going to happen that would have really pissed me off. Some stuff did bother me, but we'll get to that. But yeah, they get to Boo, and it's pretty good. You know, they're going through. It seems to be doing a faithful retelling again. And then you notice that, the kids' tournament's not in there. It's like, okay. So you have time to throw in 6 hours of fetch quests. Probably more like 4 hours for someone who's not, an idiot like me. But like 4 to 5 hours of fetch quests. You can't throw in certain things that actually happened in the canon. Like Goten and Trunks in the tournament, and 18 in the tournament, and everything with Mr. Satan. Throughout the game, you unlock these, like, villainous enemies that appear, and as you defeat them, more and more villainous enemies will appear. Eventually, if you keep defeating them, you go through the side missions, and keep wishing them back with the Dragon Balls, you'll eventually find Mira and Toa, and they're, like, the hidden boss of the game, and, their fight, I liked it, but, I mean... I didn't need a tie-in to Xenoverse. You know what I mean? Like, it tying into Xenoverse really just did not do it for me. I was like, why is this tying into Xenoverse? Like, are you kidding me? It's tying into Xenoverse of all things. Like, I don't know if that was their way of setting up a Xenoverse 3 or something. I mean, obviously not, because this would take place before Xenoverse 1, but you know what I mean. I have heard that there might be some DLC for Super. I'm not sure if they're going to do this like Legacy of Goku style, where they're just going to make an entirely new game that's just Dragon Ball Super content, because that's what CyberConnect 2 likes to do with their games. So it's kind of up in the air what's going to happen there. The gameplay was amazing. It had beam struggles, something that hasn't been in these games forever, which... instant point for me. The models I think were amazing. I've heard people complain, but yeah, I didn't have an issue with them. The music was kind of crappy in my opinion. I liked the version of We Got a Power and the version of Brain Headshala. I liked the version of that came out that I heard throughout the game. Those were pretty, interesting. But the rest of the music just sounded like carnival music to me. I wasn't into it. Like, the scene where he goes Super Saiyan 3 for the first time against Majin Buu was, like, just nowhere near as impactful as anything Falconer ever did. I understand they couldn't put Falconer music in the game, but come on. Like, seriously? The music sucked, except for, like, 3 tracks. Another thing they cut out was the inside of Boo part. I know they could have made that. They could have had cool side missions. They could have had fun with that. But they decided not to do it, I guess. Yeah. Interesting. I don't know why they would decide not to do it, but hey. They cut out a lot of shit from the World Tournament, too. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff cut out that I think if they were to make a Kakarot 2, I would like to see them put in. Like, cut out some of the side missions and just do Dragon Ball. Just do Dragon Ball. I don't know why that's such a hard concept for some of these guys. Just do Dragon Ball. So that, I mean, so if I had to go over things I'd like, I would have to say that I definitely enjoyed the gameplay. That's one. That's a straight up point for me right there. The models. That was another great point for me right there. The storytelling was good for the most part. The side missions kind of got tedious. The open world has nothing except side missions and filler and padding and Superman 64ing your way around the freaking map, collecting rings to save Lois Lane, I guess. I don't know. Which I never had to do, because if you fight the villainous enemies, yeah. You know, I know some people had this terrible glitch too, where if they fought the villainous enemies too early on, they couldn't, like, complete, like, the hidden ending of the game with Mira and shit, which I kind of find comical. A buddy of mine had that happen, and it's just like, oh, well, that sucks. Like, no more, no secret ending for you there, buddy. I don't know if that was something I should have done before Boo. I did it after. I don't know if it matters, if there was a different ending I could have got, but hey, I'm not too worried about it. I got through it. Yeah, the open world was a disaster. That took points off for me. The sound clips, if you want to make a nitpick, the sound clips, certain cutscenes were not voice acted that looked like they should have been voice acted. Now, I don't know if I'm just full of shit with that or what, but when a character is moving their mouth, I expect there to be words coming out. But it's just like, hi, oh no, oh, ha. It's like, really? You had the voice actors. You could have put words to this and made me and probably other people like way more into it, but a little late for that. You know, honestly though, I would still probably give this game, if I had to give this game a rating, I'd have to give it a 7 out of 10. This game is not a bad game. Like, this is a game that is worth $60. I don't care what anyone tells you. This game is worth $60. Because it is beautiful. The animations are beautiful. The models are beautiful. The gameplay is great. As an RPG, it suffers, but as a Dragon Ball Budokai clone, it is amazing. So honestly, I'd have to recommend this game. I'd say this is one of the best games of the year so far. I'm sure it's going to get dwarfed later on because we have great things like Cyberpunk coming out, but yeah, for now, I'd have to say good gameplay, good animations. The game is well put together. The combat was fluid. The only downside was the side missions were boring sometimes, but it was a JRPG, so what do you really expect from that? Yeah, I mean, I can't really think of anything else besides boring side missions and them not respecting a select group of characters. Now, I don't know if there's a reason for that, or if they just didn't think it was important. To me, it kind of shows that they might not be real Dragon Ball fans, but hey, I don't know where this game's going to go next. I heard there's going to be DLC. I've heard it's going to be GT, but I've also heard it's going to be Super. So I'm not sure. I would rather them just make a Dragon Ball Z Kakarot 2, fix these issues, and then, you know, like 2022, you know, have it come out and have Super be in it, or have GT be in it. That, or if they don't want to fix these issues, just make sure that when you make Kakarot 2, if it's just GT, if it's just Super content, make sure it's done right. Please. Make sure it's done right. I'm begging you. Because I know you guys at CyberConnect 2 can, you know, pay these characters the respect they deserve. Pay this story the respect it deserves. I know you guys can do this. I've seen this plenty of times from you guys. I love the Storm games. This game is a 7 out of 10. It could be a 10 out of 10, just like Storm 3 and 4 were. Minus Boruto. Good old Bort. So yeah, as I've said multiple times, I'm sure because I love to ramble. This game 7 out of 10 for me. I love this game. I just think it has a few things it needs to work on if it makes a sequel. I really hope it does. I'd play it again. I'm gonna play it again. I'm gonna keep playing the post game. It's really fun. It's just more filler, but it's actually not boring filler. So, you know, I mean, it hasn't been so far. I just beat Mira, so it's like it's hard to tell. But yeah, we'll figure it out. But thank you guys so much for coming by and watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope it was helpful to some of you. I know it's pretty late. The next one won't be. Next one will probably come out the same week as the game. So, yeah, I'm not sure what the next one will be yet. I have to look. I have like 3 I need to make. But thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye. Later. I do the weird 2-finger thing.